How much should I budget for my divorce? Hi, I'm Bill Farias, founder of Farias Family Law. And we got this question a couple of weeks ago from a gentleman who is moving toward divorce. He wants to get a good idea of what he's going to spend. So the most important thing to recognize is that every case is different. And divorce costs can fall anywhere on a spectrum from, on one end, the case is resolved super efficiently and it's relatively inexpensive, to the other end of the spectrum. Some divorces take up to 2 years and can cost tens of thousands, over $100,000. It really depends on your specific circumstances. So to figure out where you fall on this spectrum, or to try as best you can to predict where you fall on this spectrum, there are a couple of factors that you can use to gauge about how much you might have to spend. So first of all, the complexity of the case. And so what you want to do is you want to think about, if there is a longer term marriage and there is a greater disparity in income between you and your ex, and there are significant assets, let's say at least over $500,000, $1 million in assets, and if there are children involved, then it is likely that your case is going to be a little bit more complicated to resolve. And the more complex those issues, the more difficult it will be to resolve. So for example, if you own a business and operate a business as opposed to being a W-2 employee, it is going to take more work to figure out what your true income is, what your true income should be, whether there is a value to the business beyond what you are being paid from it. If you have children and you and your spouse are going to be in agreement on what the parenting plan is going to look like, then that obviously reduces the complexity a significant amount. If you anticipate that that's going to be a contested issue, then it's going to cost you more. Same thing with the income disparity. When you have a large income disparity, especially if it's a longer term marriage, then you likely have support issues that are more complex. Will there be alimony? Will there be alimony and child support? So overall, you want to think about it as, the longer your marriage, the more assets you have, the greater the disparity in income. And if you have children, then that makes the issues a little bit more complex. There's just more that needs to be sorted out. So some of these cases resolve very quickly and efficiently. So that's not to say that if you fall into that category in terms of your income, the disparity in income, and having children, that it is going to be necessarily a long and drawn out battle. It's just those are factors to keep in mind. And when those factors are present, it is more likely that the case will be more difficult to resolve. So that's one thing. And that's very case specific. The other thing that you want to keep in mind, or that you want to factor in, is how reasonable or unreasonable your spouse is going to be, and whether your spouse is going to hire a reasonable attorney. So this is another big factor. So you have some cases that should be simple, but either the other party is crazy and difficult to deal with, or they hire an attorney who is either crazy or looking to just churn for billable time and to collect extra revenue on the case. And so that is a factor and a consideration. If the people on the other side are stable and have integrity and operate with integrity, then it is more likely going to be processed efficiently. If not, if either the other party is going to be difficult or they are going to hire a difficult attorney, then you can expect to spend more on your case. If it becomes egregious, then you could always ask for attorney fees, but it's very difficult to rely on getting an award of attorney fees. It has to be very egregious conduct for the court to order that. So generally, if you're going to have difficult people on the other side, the case is going to take longer, it's going to cost more. So that's how you can gauge approximately how much you're going to spend. It's very difficult to come up with exact numbers, but the longer your marriage, the more assets, the greater the disparity in income. And if there are children involved, especially younger children, so kids who are under 13, and especially if there is a dispute on parenting time, it's going to be more difficult to resolve. If you have someone on the other side who's unstable, either the party or an attorney, then it's going to be more difficult to resolve. If you have any other questions, you can call us 508-675-0464. You can email us at info@fariasfamilylaw.com. If you found this video helpful, you can subscribe to our channel, share it with anyone you think might benefit from it, and you can also find us on social media at Farias Family Law. Thank you. Have a good day.